Welcome back to the Band Guide. I'm your band guy, Colin, and today I want to show you a really quick vocal trick that totally saved my vocals in the last mix that I was working on. This is something that will literally take you 1 second if it's the right thing for your mix, but could totally change the way that your vocals sound, and that's what it did for me, so I had to share it with you. I was really excited when I figured this out. So let's go and jump straight into Logic and take a listen to the song. This is how it currently sounded before I applied this trick, and you'll see it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with the mix, but I just want a little bit more effect and a little bit more space between the effect and the vocal. Check out how it currently sounds.
Calling me at 2:45. Somebody ought to call the doctor when I'm back on my feet. Sending me messages incomplete. I barely take the time to read 'cause I can follow the beat.
Now, this is the song One Look by my band Broke Royals. It is not currently out. If you dig it and would like to be the first to hear about it when it does come out, there's a link in the description below where you can jump on our email list and you'll be the first to find out when it does come out. But let's get back to it. As I said, I like the sound of this, but I just want a little bit more vocal effects, and then I want to be a little bit more separated from the vocal. I don't want it to start to sound distant. So as I started to bring the effects up more, the vocals just started to feel kind of washed out in the mix. Check that out. So this right here, this is bus 4, is going to our tape delay. And look what it does as I start to turn the knob up here to bring up more of the effect.
Calling me at 2:45. Somebody ought to call the doctor when I'm back on my feet. Sending me messages incomplete. I barely take the time to read 'cause I can follow the beat.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that sound. I just wanted a little bit more separation, right? So really quickly, let's look at what's on that tape delay just so you know. That tape delay is just the stock Logic tape delay, set to about 90 seconds, or milliseconds, 90 milliseconds for the delay time. And then Abbey Road, this is just adding some saturation or distortion. Any distortion plugin could do what this is doing really. Mono slap here, a big mid boost around 3K and cutting some of the high frequencies. And then I'm using Magma Springs. This is one of my new favorite reverbs from Waves, and I just am adding a little bit of reverb, a little bit of space around the slapback delay. This is one way I like to add reverb that's really, really subtle and is separate from the lead vocal. Helps keep it separate from the lead vocal. So if we listen to what that sounds like in solo here.
Calling me at 2:45.
And then with the lead vocal.
Somebody ought to call the doctor when I'm back on my feet.
So I like the sound of it. I'm happy with the sound of it, but I want to have it up a little bit more without washing out the vocal. So I was referencing some other mixes that I really like, some pro mixes. And there's a great song by Nikki Lane called First High, Nikki. Nikki, definitely check it out. I'd play it for you, but YouTube copyright strikes, all that stuff, so I can't. But go check it out. Really great song. And what I noticed is that her vocals are center, but the slap delay is actually a little bit off in the right ear. And I thought, well, is that what I need to do here? And I tried it, and immediately it sounded better. Check this out. So I have the vocal delay sent at about the level that I want it to, but I'm going to go to this pan knob here, and I'm just going to shift it up a little bit to the right. And notice as I do that, how immediately her vocals start to feel more upfront and present, but you also hear that tape delay as well. So you're getting just as much tape delay, or more or less just as much tape delay, but her vocals aren't feeling washed out. Check this out.
Calling me at 2:45. Somebody ought to call the doctor when I'm back on my feet.
I put it back in the middle.
Messages incomplete. I barely take the time to read 'cause I can follow the beat. I've been down, but I've never been down like this. I need something.
It's pretty cool, right? You notice as soon as it goes back to the middle that the vocals just feel a little bit more distant, a little bit more washed out. You hear the tone of those effects really affecting the sound of the vocal, but you pan it off to the side a little bit, you get separation, you hear the slapback delay, and you hear the vocal. You get the best of both worlds. It's a really cool effect. And I've done this other ways in the past. I wish I would have thought of it when I was doing this mix initially, where I would do one mono reverb that I'd pan all the way off to the left and different mono reverb all the way off to the right. That's probably opposite for you because of the camera. But pan them in totally different directions, but then there's no reverb up the middle, so the vocal up the middle stays nice and clean and clear, but then you get this sense of space off into the sides, and because they're two different mono reverbs, There's separation. They don't blend into the middle. It's really, really cool. You could try that one as well. Now, a couple things I really want to highlight with this. The first is that this was right for this song. There's all sorts of songs where I have the slapback delay just right up the middle and it sounds great and it really works with the song. This song, it wasn't working, so I tried this and it saved the day. So definitely try it and see if you like it in your mix. The second thing is that I did not figure this out on my own, and you shouldn't wait around to figure these things out on your own. But you also shouldn't spend forever on YouTube. The way that you should find a lot of these things is by listening to other pro mixes that you like. That's where you're going to uncover a lot of their secrets. I call it learning from the pros. You can do it just by listening to your favorite music, but much more intentionally than when we're just kind of casually listening to music. Put on a song and say, what effects am I hearing on this vocal, on this song? So I pull up that Nikki Lane song, and I wasn't just listening to that song and enjoying that song. I'd listened to that song maybe 100 times and enjoyed it, but it wasn't until I said, I know I want my vocals in this to sound somewhat kind of like the vocals in that. It's a different song, different feel, but I know that that is like a good vocal reference. And so I pulled it up and I checked them against each other and I was like, oh, she's got a slapback delay too. And I knew that, but I didn't realize until I listened that intentionally that it's off in the right ear. So be really intentional, use references. And reference, don't compare. Don't say this mix sounds so much better than my mix, but what could I learn from this pro mix that I could apply to my mix to make my mix just a little bit better? And if you do that a billion times over your career, you're going to sound just as good as the pro mixes. I promise you. There's almost no way around it. Now, this is a super fun trick. It really saved the day for me with these vocals. Really got me exactly what I was going for, but it is just a trick. If you're struggling to get a mix that you're happy with, most likely it's that you need to really tighten up on the fundamentals. You really need to be applying the fundamentals better in your mixing. And I want to give you something for free that's going to help you with that. I put together a completely free 6-step checklist that just goes through the 6 steps that all professional mixes have and how to do them specifically inside Logic. It's really going to help you out. It's helped out thousands of people. It's the same approach I take for every single mix that I do, and it's the same 6 steps that all professional mixes have. So it's the fundamentals that you need to be doing in your mixes as well. Really, really great stuff, and it's free from the link in the description below, so be sure to pick that up. And if you like this song, also sign up for that email list so you'll be the first to hear when it does come out. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever panned your effects? Let me know in the comments below. Definitely a great trick I'm going to be doing more in the future. This video was helpful. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week with another video.